Alright, we've got 5 rounds of Remington 174 grain full metal jacket ammo out of the 303 at 100 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's out of a clean bore. We'll patch this up and try it again. Okay, there's a second 5-round group with the Remington Full Metal Jacket 303 ammo at 100 yards. That's approximately 2 inches across and about an inch high. Alright, ran 10 rounds over the chronograph here of the Remington 174 grain Full Metal Jacket load, and we got readings on 9 of them. One of the readings was an error because of the light, I would assume. So let's see what we got here. Lowest one was 2383, highest 2427, average of 2402, extreme spread of 44, standard deviation of 16, that's quite good. And there's the 9 shots individually. There we go. Alright, I'm back from the range, and before I show you the final 2 groups that I shot with the Remington ammunition, I thought I'd just go over a couple of figures. As we've noted from the velocity measurements from the chronograph there, the tested velocity of this ammunition was 2,402 feet per second, which gives 2,242 foot-pounds of energy. Foot-pounds of energy is not really a big deal, of course, when you're shooting target ammunition. The velocity is more of a big thing. The advertised or specified velocity for this ammunition, according to Remington, was 2,475 feet per second, 2,366 foot-pounds of energy. So this tested a little bit slower out of this rifle than Remington got out of their test barrel. They probably used a slightly longer barrel, and also I'm sure their testing temperature would have been closer to room temperature. My firing was done just several degrees above the freezing mark, so a little bit colder, and that will generally reduce the velocity of the ammunition. One question on the first part, somebody asked how much this ammunition cost. I paid $30 a box. Going online, I've seen that it sells for about $24 or $25 in the US. Here in Canada, I think I've seen it from $29 to $33 a box. So it's not quite as cheap as some of the other alternatives like the Privy Partisan. Anyway, let's show you the last 2 groups. And these groups illustrate what happens when the shooter is awake and when the shooter's not awake. And that'd be me. Now, once again, this is 100 yards, and this is the best group that I fired with this ammunition. 5 shots at 100 yards. And we'll get our ruler out here. And if we measure this center to center, it looks like it's about 1 inch and 3/8 for these 5. Center to center for these two furthest apart ones. It would help if I did that while I was actually in the camera frame. So anyway, 1 inch and 3/8 center to center for those, and we've got 4 rounds here that are in, let's see, they would be center to center about 5/8 of an inch center to center. So the ammunition is obviously capable of pretty decent accuracy out of a good rifle, which my number 4 target rifle apparently is a pretty good rifle. It's got a good barrel, good sights, good bedding job, and a reasonably good trigger for a Lee Enfield. Now, I shot this group, and I went back to fire the very last group of the day, and rather than patching the target, I just increased the elevation on the rear sight and fired another group so that I'd have 2 separate groups on the same target. And the second group was kind of a disaster. So here's the second group. It's huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they did not feel like they were good at all. When I fired them, I knew things went horribly wrong. So Anyway, I don't blame that one on the ammo. That's definitely the nut behind the trigger that did that. I would say these three up top are probably the three that got away, that I got away more cleanly, and the other ones just I just screwed up. So that's why you got to shoot a few groups to see what you're doing. But anyway, I think that's what the ammo will do, and when the shooter's all dialed in, and when the shooter's not dialed in, things go horribly astray. Anyway, I guess that'll conclude this review of this Remington ammunition. I don't really see myself purchasing any more of this in the near future because, you know, it's just a little bit too expensive for what it is compared to the Privy Partisan. But it is good ammunition. If you want to buy North American-made ammunition, by all means, it's certainly a good option for your 303. If you don't like buying the foreign-made stuff, it would be one very viable option. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we will talk to you later.